Hey there, future Winter Vessel here. Well, you caught me in the garden, and confession time. I had issues rendering half of my last build video. So, you'll get a quick time lapse of part of the build for the barn, and then I'll tour you around the barn, which you'll see in a few seconds before you go into that time lapse. And then we'll talk about our future plans and what we're going to do to accelerate some resource production. Because, yeah, stuff is getting expensive, including these carrots. But there's that barn right over there. You guys will get to see it while I finish harvesting some food. And I'll bring you guys back right after the time lapse. So enjoy. And I'm gonna have some carrot soup. glad to see you back. Hope you enjoyed that time-lapse video of part of the barn being built. You didn't miss much on the second part, just the roof going up and the animals getting moved in. But we're going to go ahead and take a tour of the barn, show you around, and talk about our future plans also for resource production. So I added some logs to the front just because this is also our lumber mill area. And I did put some bamboo. And then we got some outside area for the animals. Here you can see our pigs and chickens, little escape artists that they are. We also added some chains and lanterns for decorations. We got a good sized area for the cows and a little pen for the sheep, which will come in handy. And then I also have this little area here for when and if we do get a horse. Let's be real, traveling by horse is great. I did some texturing too in the middle just to give it a little variety, along with some storage for our tree farm and our feed for the animals. And I snuck in a crafting table as well, with some trapdoors for shelves, and then some hay bales for decoration. And this upper floor doesn't have much of anything yet, but we'll figure out what to use this area for later on. I also added in a safety net right above the chickens, just in case something does get up there, they can't get right into them, which hopefully that works. But let's be real, chickens are escape artists anyways. And boy, is the barnyard noisy. Now, to talk about our future plans for this series, I realized that we need some acceleration on resource gathering. More importantly, we need iron. So we're going to be looking at setting up a cobble generator next, along with a few other different create machines. So I'll see you next time, and hopefully I have that figured out.